Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dave. This is ScotsToys, where we cover Lego investing, our Bricklink store, and general reselling. This episode, we're going to be going over what we sold on Amazon, or Lego investing purposes, what we sold on our Lego this last week, and we're going to go over one additional item, and that is how Amazon lost one of my packages and what that means to you, the seller. All right, everybody, so we're going to go ahead and real quickly cover the sales for last week. And we're going to start off by reviewing the Facebook sales. Hopefully you can see this a little better so that I don't have to try and clip in a screenshot of what it is. So we're going to start off with Lego set number 6858. The Batman Cat Cycle, I believe, is what the set's called. We've got an item cost me $5, sold it on Facebook Marketplace for $10. This one happened to have no fees, and I don't exactly know why. I'm guessing that somehow Facebook was running a promotional or something along those lines, but gives me a net item profit of $5. As you can see over on the right, accounts for the total sales on Facebook last week. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to eBay. On eBay, we had one sale, and it was a Lego Bowser Jr. and Goomba figures out of the Mario starter set. So I already sold the actual Mario in a previous one. I want to say I got $40 for that one figure. And then this, the Bowser Jr. and Goomba, ended up getting $14.99. And so after $3.09 of item fees, I'm going to say that I got $11.90 of profit from this. The cost is a little bit different in this case because I already kind of accounted for the cost of that, going with the pieces into the Bricklink store and the Mario figure. So between the Mario figure and the Bowser and Jr. Goomba alone, that's $55 of the $48 set, which pretty much covers the cost. And so then all the pieces that got added to the Bricklink store are kind of the icing on the cake. But you can see here we had a 20.61% fee for this one item. And again, it accounts for all of our sales. And so the totals for this particular platform aren't any different. So we had a busy week at Amazon, though. So as you can see here, it looks like we've got 12 different items. So we sold a dozen things. Starting off with the Lavario Nexo Night set, sold for $20.37. Cost me $7. After fees, it gives me a net item profit on that item by $7, which is kind of what I use as a rough guideline, or my hope is that if I put $7 towards a set, my hope is to sell it with an end amount of, end profit coming into my pocket of 14, so that in essence I've doubled my money. So that's the goal. Some of these sets I actually managed to do a little bit better than that even. You can see I did end up including a little different fee breakdown for Amazon this week. So they have what's called the referral fee. Now the referral fee, after doing some more research here, the referral fee is a percentage of the overall sale. And that doesn't matter whether or not you're selling what they call FBM, or fulfilled by merchant, meaning that if I listed the stuff and shipped and sold it myself, or whether you do FBA. So the referral fee doesn't change. This is just, if you're going to use their platform, no matter who fulfills the orders, that is going to be the cost to sell the item. So I kind of look at this kind of like the final value fee, which is what eBay calls the percentage that they get, or commission in essence that they get for the sale. The FBA fee is the additional fee that Amazon charges for handling of that set, the fulfillment of the order, the shipment, the customer service, whatever it is. So this is kind of a flat fee from the looks of it. And you can see that because we've got some reoccurring prices in here. So a lot of these smaller sets, and I think it has to do with size or volume, but on the smaller ones, we got $331 is a pretty common theme here running through a few of these sets. We do have a couple at $6.18 for the larger sets. And then we've got a couple other random numbers in between, like a $3.48. Just a couple real quick items of note. These Junior T-Rex sets, I did very well on those. I got these for $25 a piece. You can see that after everything said and done, including the item cost, I got $46 take home. Well, not take home. Yeah, take home maybe. Anyways, I got to pay taxes on that in terms of income tax, but that's different. The other item of note, I suppose, would be this heavy-duty rescue helicopter, which was the highest dollar amount sale item. And it did end up translating to the highest net profit item. From a margin perspective, the Lego Creator Blue Express, which is a small 3-in-1 train, was my most profitable as an overall percentage set, to where I put $5 in and I got almost a 500% return on that one item. Total sales on Amazon for last week, $536.99. Total material cost of $156, with a total amount of fees $128.34, giving me a total net profit on the Amazon platform of $252.65, with an average fees of 23.9%. And so for the grand total for the week, we have $561.98 total sales. Total fees, $131.43. If we take out the cost of the goods sold, $161, left us with $400.98. And there were a total of around 23.39% fees across all the different items. So this was a pretty good week. I'm very happy with that. I think next week may end up being a little less. We'll see. Our Amazon inventory is starting to get a little bit low. So the next thing that I need to make a priority is finding some more sets from the shelves and getting them packaged up and prepped for Amazon. So before we leave you for today, why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about what happens when Amazon loses your package. All right, so this package that was lost, luckily didn't include actually any Legos. So before I ended up doing Amazon FBA with Lego sets, I wanted to test the waters a little bit, and I'm really glad that I did. We happened to be at Michael's, and we found a bunch of clearance items, mostly Martha Stewart paints, and so they were $1 per tube, or some of the bigger ones I think were $5. But we started off by purchasing all of those, and I looked them up on Amazon FBA. It looked like they would return a profit. Little bit of warning, though. Craft items do not sell very well, apparently, on Amazon, as I haven't actually sold any of them. However, this particular package here that we're looking at, you can see that we shipped in 35 different items, and Amazon received 0. It sat like this for a long time. It was pretty interesting. So the package showed up. It said it was being processed, and then it sat in processing for, I want to say it was 4 weeks, and I just had no feedback at all. They don't give you any updates or anything. And so finally, I was able to click on reconcile, and I passed whatever their date was, and I want to say it was at least 30 days. It may have even been 60, but I was able to finally file a claim. They did a search for the package. They couldn't find it, and I was a little concerned as to what was going to happen next. One key piece of information that I'm really glad that I had, and I'm a little worried because I don't know that I do have it for everything that I have in the basement right now, but they asked for the receipt. They wanted to see that I really had purchased the goods that I said I shipped in. Luckily, I did have it. It was actually a pretty new receipt at the time. And so I sent over the information. I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do because in my head, I'm like, well, are they just going to give me my cost for the items? Which would have been acceptable, I suppose. That's one way to handle it. But when I'm thinking about the Lego sets, I'm like, well, at some point in time, right, I'm selling them. The value of the sets is worth a lot more than what I paid for it a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, possibly in some cases. I was kind of concerned at how that was going to play out. After doing a bunch of reading, though, I did discover that apparently what they do is they try and assess some value and or replace them. What I'm going to go ahead and pull up next is my FBA inventory reimbursement file. This basically details everything that happened. And this was the first thing I saw. We'll go back. There was a link that I missed that shows a more detailed report. This is the detailed list of all the items that they're basically doing a reimbursement for. And it did show as a deposit in my account. But you can see some kind of funny things in here. Like, for instance, this first item, this Ruby Sunset Craft Paint that I paid $1 for, Amazon decided that it was worth reimbursing 9 cents. Which, is quite unfortunate, but it is only $1 and it's a single item. Most of the other items actually ended up going for something that in the end gave me a profit on. You can see here we got a couple items here. So we got a winter mint. This was a $1 item. I ended up getting $3.48 for. Over here we got jelly bean. And this is one of the things that kind of threw me off. And I'm like, did they reimburse me for quantity 0 at dollar amount 0? We had some smaller sugar cube paint. This one was apparently worth $6.03. Here we've got another one of the quantity 0 mystery items. This was the big one that I was concerned about, which was the chalkboard black 6-ounce paint. 6-ounce paint. I knew that I had shipped in, I want to say it was 4 or 5 of them to just this one location. And these are things that cost me $5 a piece. And so to see that I was reimbursed quantity 0 at dollar amount 0, I was like, oh man, like this is going to be horrible if this ever happens with the Lego sets. And then you can see right here at the end, my total reimbursement was $65.32. Now, I went through and double-checked my order to see what it is that I had sent in as well as what the cost was. And I'm not even factoring in taxes or the cost of shipping to get the goods to them. But I had calculated out that initially the entire sum of this one shipment that was lost was $71. I thought I had been reimbursed $65.32, which was a little depressing. I wasn't going to try and contact anyone. It just kind of sat in the back of my mind with this particular purchase because, well, it's only $15. It was a learning experience, and sometimes you got to pay for that. But I'm glad I dug into it a little bit more, and that's really why I wanted to share this. So it is very important that when you get the reimbursement email, you will find a link in there that gives you some instructions. And it's actually going to send you right here in the link. And if you scroll down, you'll see that, 3/4 of the way down the page, you'll see the section called reimbursements. And you can click it to get to your reimbursement reports. You got to go up to the top. You've got to change your event dates. And I'm going to go to the last 90 days just to make sure it shows up. And so then what you'll see is what we have here on screen, which is a very detailed accounting of what items they had and what they calculated out for the dollar amount for you. And the real important part that I had initially missed is whether they did a cash reimbursement or an inventory reimbursement. And so you can see that I had initially had quantity of 5, and they gave me 0 cash reimbursement, which is why in the other spreadsheet, it showed up as $0, 0 quantity. What they did instead is apparently they located 5 of this item, and they actually added it to my inventory for me. So it wasn't nearly as bad as what I had thought. And when I went back and calculated everything, the total cost of goods that were really lost and not added to my inventory ended up working out to be $40. And so in reality, in the end, after doing all this digging and kind of knowledge seeking, I guess, is that I ended up profiting $25 because Amazon lost my package. So a little bit of a weird situation, and I'm really glad that I went through it on something that wasn't very stressful to me. It was a real low dollar amount because there was a lot of anxiety kind of around it with it not even being worth much. If it had been one of my packages of 36 Lego sets that had disappeared, I mean, that was going to be a lot more substantial, right? That could have hit me between $500 and $1,000. Overall, I'm happy with the way it was handled. I think Amazon really does try and do a fair job. In the end, I ended up making some money on it. I think Amazon treated me extremely fair. And so I just kind of wanted to share that with you to know where to go to see the report, because that's what's going to give you the details for how they've handled your particular case. I'm glad that I was able to share this experience with all of you so that if you find yourself in that situation, keep the receipt. That's all I have for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you found this information useful. If you did, please go ahead and click on the like button below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and click that notification bell so that you're aware when our videos go live. Again, they go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. And we cover Lego investing, we cover our Bricklink store, and we cover general reselling. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next episode. Bye.